Hey guys, so a couple of weeks ago, SkyPiece89 left me a comment wanting to know about pantry basics, and I love this idea. If you have a well-stocked pantry, grocery shopping becomes so much easier every week and you always have a dinner a few steps away. So if you like to make my recipes, these are the items that I use week after week and I always have stocked in my pantry and fridge. So let's start with the sauces, and for me it comes down to three key products: fish sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and hot sauce. Fish sauce is great in Asian dishes. It's also terrific in soups and curries. It adds a wonderful saltiness and depth of flavor in any dish you put it into. And hot sauce. You can never have enough hot sauce to dash on eggs, put in marinades, or put in a dip. It's really a great go-to condiment. Now for the pastes. I always love to have tomato paste and pesto on hand. So tomato paste I always will buy in a tube. That way, when you open it and use just a tablespoon for a recipe, you can pop the rest in the fridge. And then pesto. I love to always have a jar of pesto in the fridge. It's great to put into pasta. I even like it in the summertime drizzled on some fresh mozzarella. Great paste to have on hand. Now for the general pantry items. I always like to have some chicken broth or vegetable broth on hand, great for soups or stews. Coconut milk, which I use for curries, or also some wonderful Thai soups that are quick and easy to put together. And then olives and capers. I love to have these on hand because they last forever in your fridge, and they're just a great thing to throw into either a stew or a salad when you want a little bit of saltiness. So now let's tackle the pastas. Pasta is a great thing to have in your pantry because it lasts forever, it's there when you need it, and can make a really quick and easy dinner when you're in a rush. Penne is great for chunky sauces. I love it when I do like a chunky tomato sauce or a bolognese sauce. And then I also love to have gnocchi. If you're not familiar with gnocchi, it's a potato dumpling that cooks up like a pasta and you can put a variety of sauces on it. I love it because it cooks quicker than any pasta and is really my go-to meal when I'm in a rush and need something fast. So when it comes to mustards, I like three different types. I like to have a Dijon, which is great for really strong flavor, a whole grain mustard, which is good for a little bit of texture, and then a honey mustard, which is a really nice sweet mustard. Then for the vinegars. Like mustards, I like to have a little bit of an assortment of vinegars because depending on the type of recipe I'm making, I may go for one over the other. So the vinegars that I always have on hand include a red wine vinegar, a traditional balsamic vinegar, and then a white balsamic vinegar. I like to have the white balsamic vinegar because it's a little bit sweeter than the traditional balsamic and it's really great for salads. Then I like to have a few oils on hand. I like to do an olive oil, which is great for everyday cooking, sauteing, or even if you just want to put some in a marinade. Then I'll do grapeseed oil, which I really prefer for salad dressings because I think it's lighter. And then sesame oil. I love to have sesame oil on hand because it has a wonderful nutty flavor, and I'll put it in things like dipping sauces for Asian dishes or stir fries. Then when it comes to cheeses, I usually have 3 in the shopping cart every week. Parmesan cheese, which I use for finishing for pastas. Mozzarella cheese, which I'll use for omelets and things for the kids because it's a mild cheese. And then Gruyere cheese, which is a nice strong cheese, which is good when you need something that has a little bit more kick to it. Now let's talk about fresh herbs. I am a big proponent of having fresh herbs around at all times. There's nothing that tastes better than something freshly picked. You will get so much flavor out of it. You don't even need that many ingredients if you have fresh herbs. So the herbs that I like to have on hand at all times are cilantro for Mexican dishes or Thai dishes, basil for anything Italian or Californian, parsley, which works on so many dishes and is just great when you want something to taste really fresh, and thyme for all of my French dishes. Now I will say this, the problem sometimes with buying fresh herbs is if you don't get to them, they really go bad pretty quickly. So I have found the best way to go is really just to grow your own, and you don't need a big yard to do it. You can get just maybe 2 or 3 pots and put it in a sunny place in your kitchen or maybe out on the front stoop. Plant it with the herbs that you like best, and that way when you're cooking throughout the week, you always have fresh herbs on hand that aren't gonna go bad. And they also look pretty too. Then let's talk about citrus. I always like to have lemons and limes on hand. They're not only great for the juice, but they're also great for the zest. I use them in everything from marinades to salad dressings, even muffins in the morning. I can't say enough about having fresh citrus on hand. And as far as salt and pepper, I really recommend investing in a little pepper grinder. They don't need to be expensive. You don't need a fancy model because there's nothing quite like freshly cracked pepper when you're cooking. And when it comes to salt, I always have 2 different types of salt on hand. I like to have a kosher salt, which is just great for all around cooking and baking, and Malden sea salt. It's a beautiful salt for finishing dishes, and I'll use it on things like roasted vegetables or grilled meats. It's even good to sort of top pasta with. It's a great salt that's not that salty, but adds a wonderful texture. And lastly, in the freezer. When it comes to vegetables, I always am a big proponent of frozen peas and frozen spinach. They're great to have on hand when you haven't gotten to the market and you want something fresh. They're always good to go. So there you have it, Beth's pantry staples. Now at first it may look like a lot of stuff. You don't have to buy it all at once. Each week pick up a few items here and there. I'll see you back here next week when I'm going to show you a recipe for what you can do with all of this stuff. A quick and easy dinner that will come together in 15 minutes or less using most of your pantry staples. I'll see you then.